Welcome back into some of our stories in brief. We begin with the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, concluding plans to embark on a nationwide rally to sensitize government and citizens on the need to urgently arrest the current insecurity in the country. The decision is part of a resolution by the National Working Committee of the NLC at a meeting in Kano. The Labour leaders also highlighted the negative effects of the current security situation on the nation's economy. Also contained at the communique at the end of the meeting is the implementation of the new minimum wage, as the NLC insists on the need for the federal and state governments to commence payments. But for workers in Kaduna State, it is cheery news, as they say. The government says that it would begin the implementation of the new national minimum wage from September. The decision was reached at the State Executive Council meeting chaired by the Deputy Governor, Mrs. Hadiza Balarabe. At the end of the meeting, the Special Advisor to the Governor, El-Rufai, on Media and Communication said the decision is part of the Governor's commitment to strengthening the public service and its capacity to deliver quality and responsive public service. And at the Federal High Court in Abuja yesterday, a suit was dismissed challenging the decision of the All Progressives Congress APC to adopt indirect primary election in selecting its candidate for the November 16th governorship election in Kogi State. Justice Taiwo in his ruling upheld the preliminary objections filed by the APC challenging the suit on grounds that it was statute barred. He held that the suit was a pre-election matter which ought to have been heard and determined within 180 days as provided by Section 285, subsection 10 of the Nigerian Constitution. Well, as preparations continue ahead of the All Progressives Congress primary slated for August the 29th in Kogi and also for Bayelsa State, we try to make sense of what the adoption of indirect primaries means for the Kogi APC as well as the peace pact for all the aspirants for the governorship race. Joining us from Abuja studios is Mr. Bernard Miko, a member of the Kogi APC Screening Committee. We'd like to welcome you to the program. So you must be happy with the court judgment certifying indirect primaries ahead of the 29. But before we talk about the perhaps advantages or disadvantages, tell us about the screening process which we here has held. What was the criteria and why were some aspirants disqualified?
Yeah, thank you for having me. If you remember, the screening committee was inaugurated on Wednesday evening, and we proceeded to Kogi for the screening proper, the exercise. And the venue of the screening was at the APC headquarters in Lokoja. 16 aspirants, presented themselves. They bought forms and presented themselves for the screening, including the sitting governor. And by the time we finished, 4 aspirants were cleared. We applied the rules. We applied the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We applied the APC Constitution. And we were directed by the national chairman to be fair to all, to be thorough, so that no lapses will be taken advantage by the opposition party. So we did a thorough job, and in the end, 4 candidates were cleared, and 12 were not cleared.
Now, 4 is quite a small number when you look at the whole number of 16. What were some of the rules that you looked at that disqualified some of the others you just mentioned, the 12 others?
Yes, if you look at Section 177 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and go a little bit down to Section 182 that talks of the qualification of who becomes, or the disqualification of a governor of a state, you will find out that there are issues. There are issues, particularly age. Most of these candidates did not have valid age declarations. Some of them declared their ages. Some of them also gave multiple age declarations. The one in their academic credentials were different from the ones they declared themselves, including the ones on their passport. So these are some of the problems that they had. And we during screening, we asked them why, some of them are very senior citizens of this country, why should they make this kind of mistakes? And we found out that most of them did not even fill their own forms. You know, they didn't even fill their own forms. They gave it to their aides, you know, to fill the forms for them. And their aides did not even go to the court to depose any affidavit or this may be required by the law.
Mr. Miko,
so we took them on, and
yes, Mr. Miko, a number of people foresee a crisis on the horizon affecting the chances of the party in the governorship election. I mean, reports say that meetings are ongoing on how those who have been disqualified are re-strategizing their political future. Is the decision final on those disqualifications?
You see, we were very concerned about the large number, you know, being excluded. But they have another window. You see, the constitution of the party has also provided for appeal. And they can go on appeal and have it overturned if they think otherwise. But with what we have done, they were even satisfied that they made mistakes while going through the process of filling the application forms and all that. Some of them did not attach any document at all. They never went to court. They are not financial members of the party. There was no evidence that they had anything to show that they are party members. They were not committed. So we looked at the papers, and these issues were pointed to them. We are even surprised that they are making it an issue, because they agreed that they had these problems.
All right, I must quickly ask you, before we let you go, if you can answer this question in about a minute. The proponents of democracy would say that indirect primaries isn't democratic because of the possibility of manipulation and corruption. Shouldn't the popularity of a person be tested by majority of the people? In a minute.
Well, you see, the issue of direct primary or indirect is an issue of law. You see, if it was agreed in our party's constitution that any of them could be applied, it depends on the NWC, you know, to now apply the one that is appropriate. Indirect primary, for me, might not be the best result. But again, if the party has chosen to use an electoral college, as it may be, to select leaders, and we keep to it, I think it will also read a better result. It has been applied in other areas, in other this thing, and it worked well. I think it's the honesty of applying any rule in a system that matters.
Mr. Bernard Miko, we'd like to thank you. We appreciate your time on the program. Thank you so much for joining us. And that's how we wrap things up here on Lunchtime Politics. Thank you for watching. I'm Millicent Walker. I'll see you soon.